Welcome to another edition of Sales and Marketing Power Hour with your hosts, Carol Morgan from Denim Marketing and Kimberly Mackey from New Home Solutions Consulting. Today's topic is the Lasso Roundup. Today's special guests are Brittany Horner, Mitchell Holmes, Dan Bridenstine, Group 2, Erica Lockwood, Joseph Chris Partners, Heidi Schroeder with ECI Lasso, CRM, Leah Fellows, Blue Gypsy, Inc., Jake Scherrer, Audience Town, and Ralph Williams, Sales Solve Everything.
Righty. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. People are starting to come in here now. Your eyes do not deceive you. There is a miniature donkey joining us. It's going to be our new holiday tradition.
Yeah.
He likes to come visit on this one.
No, that's
wow,
not
look,
me.
I'm seeing some wow. Hi, Alexis. Wow, we've got some new friends and some long-time friends.
Long-time friends. You can't call them old.
Say old
and we have
friends.
Champ visiting too.
Hi, Champ.
Yeah, Champ is here too.
Yeah.
Now, if we just get the rest of your menagerie in.
Who knows? They'll probably come cruising through. You never know. But,
Yeah, I'll have that too.
So Kevin wanted to join us. Kevin's my new mini donkey. He's 6 months old. And Holly was a good sport and went out there with him. So now he keeps trying to nip her because that's what he likes to do. He likes to be pet, he likes cookies, and he likes to bite people. So he has his own Instagram.
He's a teething baby. That's what babies do.
It's not teething.
Hey, Kelly. I see Kelly.
Kelly's like, I love Kevin.
Oh, we all love Kevin. No, Kevin is an unfixed male at present, which is why he does what he does. But he just got to be a little bit older, then we'll take care of that. But Kevin has his own Instagram. It is in the chat. If you all scroll up in the chat, you'll see Kevin's Instagram, and he will follow you back. So if you would like to see the adventures of Kevin, and Kevin the mini donkey.
Hey, Monica.
Yeah, look at this. We got a good crew in here coming and more coming in. So everybody's getting their coffee on this chilly morning up north.
We would have had like 4 times the people if they'd known Kevin was going to be here. I'm just saying.
I know. He's like the viral person, or well, it's not a person. What am I saying? The 4-legged person.
I call all animals people.
We should, Kevin maybe should have his own marketing advice from Kevin.
We should. I say pets are people too, for sure.
Is he going to be the new? Is he going to be the new podcast mascot?
He might be.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I don't know if you have a sheep, you can do like a nativity
by
scene.
now. I'm thinking Holly might want to get out of there at this point. Look at him; he's getting feisty.
Holly is going to get bit.
Uh-oh, he's got his ears back. Woo woo.
Holly's had a workout this morning.
Thank you, Holly. You're such a good sport.
Where'd he run off to? We don't see him. He left you. Oh, he did run off, literally.
He did run off. Yeah, no, he got fired up.
Yeehaw!
Like, yeah, he's like, I don't know what's happening.
Now he's going to harass.
I don't know.
Poor Sonny.
Made his appearance and now he's gone. He's like, I'm out.
And now he's gone. Yes.
Peace
All right.
out.
Well, I'm going to
hang
go
with my
ahead and
buddy.
get started since we have so much to cover today. And look at all these amazing faces here. The chat is fired up. So please, ask your questions. Let us know where you're from. Tell us what you're most looking forward to for 2026. Maybe just that it's not 2025. That may be my whole thing.
We're here.
I'm just happy that it's not 2025. So we get all new opportunities. So fire up that chat and let's see. We have very few slides this morning to get through, not very many at all. And we will go back to our Brady Bunch view. So we are every year. This is Carol. This is our favorite, right?
Absolutely.
The energy, the brain power, and of course, getting to partner with our friends at Lasso for this. So let's go ahead and we have Heidi. I don't know. I can't tell you how many times a year with my clients I say, we have Heidi for that. It's because they're like, Kimberly, can you do blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, nope, but we have Heidi.
but Heidi can.
Heidi can do it. Heidi can do it all. So Heidi, take it away. Tell us a little bit about this and how and the history of this too, because I think we need to pay homage to our friend Angela Mackey, who started this years ago, and this tradition just lives on.
Absolutely. Angela did such a great job of just kind of launching this. I don't know how many years ago. I should probably look back and see how many years we've been doing this, but this is certainly my best webinar of the year. It's always so much fun, but it's always so much knowledge too. When I worked for a builder, I put this on my calendar every year. This was my must have, must attend event of the year. I hope that's continued. It used to be kind of the Lasso Roundup. I think moving forward, ECI has a lot of sales and marketing products under its umbrella now. So now it's the ECI kind of roundup, and we'll see that moving forward a little bit more too. All of our knowledge that we got through the blogs that you'll find, we'll put some links out to the blogs that are associated with our conversation here today, but you'll find some of that content covers all sales and marketing and some really good information there. So thanks for having me. Love this.
Oh, we're so glad, and we love partnering with you guys for this. I think Terrell is on here, and I think he has already started in the chat with the links for the full blogs. If not, that was your cue, Terrell. So
we'll get it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right,
Carol.
And if you're not friends with us on Facebook, we have the Sales and Marketing Power Hour Facebook group, and we would love to have everybody join. You're welcome to chime in on conversations, start conversations. If you've got, a question about a statistic, or you see a funny video or a funny, graphic, please feel free to share it. We're, trying to keep the conversation going in between our Sales and Marketing Power Hour sessions.
You said that because we love the fun ones too. Like, it doesn't have to be all serious all the time. Like, we like to have a little fun with it. So please join and please chime in on that. And all right, everybody, I have big breaking news. Everybody ready? Get out your phones. Everybody who's on, get out your phones, please. Sales and Marketing Power Hour is now a podcast.
Wow.
So you guys asked for it. You said, sometimes we just can't make it, Kimberly. We want to be able to listen to it in the car. And I know it's on YouTube, but watching YouTube and driving, not safe. And of course, we know that you'd love to always join us, but everybody's schedule is so crazy. No excuses now. So you can find this on your Apple podcast. You can find it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Audible. Just search Sales and Marketing Power Hour. Please, even if you don't listen to it, please subscribe, because we literally just launched this. And as you know, just having people follow you and subscribe to it is key. You don't even have to turn on the notifications if you don't want, but help us out so we can get it populated and found on those sites. All right, Carol, back to you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm Carol Morgan, founder and president of Denim Marketing. We're located in the greater Atlanta area. And, I guess our thought for 2026, or as we head into it, is that hope is not a strategy. So if you're looking for marketing with intent, then please give us a call. We would love to work with you. You can reach me at carol@denimmarketing.com or denimmarketing.com. Back to you, Miss Kimberly.
All right. Thank you very much. So I'm Kimberly Mackey, and my company is New Home Solutions Consulting. I always say I like to be the company you call when you want sales to be the engine that drives your train rather than what runs it off the track. While I do share space with all of our fantastic trainers out there, and I do sales training, what I am known for is that immersion consulting and making sure that all your processes, procedures, everything supports consistent, predictable, and profitable sales. So if I can help you with any of that, with your KPIs, making sure you're measuring the right stuff, and more importantly, knowing what those KPIs mean and what to do with them, give me a shout. So, and you can find me at newhomesolutions.com. All right. That being said, I'm going to turn off the share because we got all these beautiful faces on here they've got so much knowledge to share. Let's get ahead of the game and get going with them. Carol, you want to kick us off here?
Absolutely. Are we going to have everybody go around and do introductions real quick? Is that work to
They're
kick
going to
off,
do
or
it. They're going
as
to
they
do it as they
go?
go.
All
Yep,
right.
as they go.
Excellent. Well, we're going to kick off with my friend Erica Lockwood with Joseph Chris Partners. And my question for you this morning, Erica, is with 2026 bringing continued strain on teams, what's the most practical first step that a company can take to begin building intentional mentorship and long-term leadership development into its culture?
Wow, that's a very long question,
Very
but
long
I'm
question.
very happy to answer that. So, hi everyone. I'm Erica Lockwood, as Carol said. Thank you both for inviting me, all of you. I guess my title is managing director, but I'm an executive recruiter, right? I'm with Joseph Chris Partners. Spent the last 25 years recruiting leaders across the industry, like everybody, everybody. It's been a long time. So if there's anything I've learned, operational excellence is built on people far more than process. You can have great processes, but the people really make the difference, right? So, and you can find me on LinkedIn. I mean, you can Google me. If you find something weird, let me know. No, but to answer your question, Carol, when I wrote the piece for the blog, and mine is on the operations side, everyone, but it came from a very real place for me personally. But because behind every title and KPI, as Kimberly was mentioning, those three letters, there's a human doing their best with the runway that they have just that day. That's all we have, right? And some days the runway is long, and some days it just disappears, right? So the strength of an organization always shows in those moments. So, really for me, the most practical first step is, it seems basic, but I feel like it's psychological safety. We can't mentor people who are afraid to tell the truth. If someone thinks that saying, I don't know, or I'm overwhelmed will make them look weak or hurt their future career opportunities, mentorship dies before it even begins. So step one is building a culture where people feel safe enough to be humans. And that's where leadership development actually takes root, in my opinion. So the second step is to mentor your mentors. Most leaders in our industry, they were promoted for performance, not because they were ever taught how to develop others. You can't scale leadership if your leaders haven't been led. So pour into them first. Give them coaching skills, communication skills, confidence to show up for their teams, especially on the days where the runway disappears. So if you get those two things right, emotional safety and leader readiness, I really believe mentorship stops being a program and it really becomes part of the culture. That's your home run.
Drop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you haven't read her post, guys, you really have got to read this because it's phenomenal. And teams right now are so scared.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that means companies get scared because your company is your people, right? And they get scared and people are stuck. And without having this culture of being able to speak up and say, hey, can somebody help me with this?
Mm-hmm.
That should be job one, I think, with any company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like your comment about runway and how much runway somebody has. Like this morning I got up extra early because I have like 10 things I need to get done today, right? And I thought I was going to just jam through all of them. And then my very first call, it was scheduled, completely derailed my entire morning. So I feel like and it's stuff that needs to happen, but I'm like, so my runway derailed.
Right.
And now I'm trying to it's like, now can I really get the rest of these things done? I've gotten 2 of them done. There's 8 more.
It's true. Yeah. It's like, we have to de-ice the plane now, Carol.
Exactly. The plane is a little frozen.
No, that is very true. And, to the point of, talking about leaders is, people don't become leaders by hiding their hard days.
Right.
They have them too, right? they navigate them with support. They need to have the support also. And so that's really, I'm a big culture person, and I see companies doing it very right, and I see companies doing it very, very wrong. And, those are the ones that we recruit out of, mind you. But, people really, humans build homes, right? So we've got to take care of the most valuable asset that I believe is in an organization is your people.
Well, to that point, I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of great companies that value, culture, but some of the best leaders are the most vulnerable. They show a level of humility that doesn't scare people, but inspires people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is something that lacks a lot, especially in leadership.
Mm-hmm.
It does, because if you look vulnerable and you're like, well, I
Mhm.
won't get that next promotion, or, but a lot of it depends on who that next level up is, like who that person reports to. It's got to be just a very real organization. Yes, I mean we're all working to be profitable and to be successful, and if you're back in the 1970s or 80s and leading by intimidation, that's just not going to work. Or just pretending like, suck it up. And there are days that we can't.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah.
So. It should be a safe place to fail, because I feel like some of my best achievements came from a failure.
Mm-hmm.
I said I stopped and did a postmortem and figured out what went wrong and said, oh, this is what you really should have done, and I learned from it. But there are some places where that's not okay, and I think we need to make it a safe place for people to try something, learn from it, but ultimately it's okay if it fails. We can learn from it, and I think we could all pick some of the companies maybe out of our profession that have done that recently and had some epic fails. Went back and went a different direction publicly, right? So it's
that's bad okay. Logo choices.
Logo choices. That one was exactly which one was coming to mind.
Is that what you were thinking of?
I saw one of those the other day. I thought, oh, that's odd, the logo choice. But yeah, I think that there's more times than not, the wins are what are celebrated, which is wonderful. Mm-hmm. But the more valuable, just looking at, like you said, the postmortem is looking at what didn't work. I love sports. I love football. And anytime a coach talks about the game that they didn't win, they are going to look through those, the
review the
tapes. Are there tapes anymore? I don't think so.
Well,
but,
they're going to age, but you know what I mean.
I know, because that's what I was just going to say. But they go through and they say, okay, this is what we did wrong. And then you just go back and you practice and you practice. That's the only way that anyone gets better. I don't think we would have telephones if Edison said, screw it. That didn't work out the 80th time, or lights, the light bulb, whatever. So got to get back up on the horse or the donkey.
Thank you, Erica. And I hope everyone will read your article and take it to heart and think of, as you're reading these, don't just read them and go, oh, that's great. What does it mean to you? What are your action items? And I think there's a lot of actionable items and takeaways from your post. So thank you for that. Yep. So switching gears here to Brittany, first time joining us I know you've been in our audience for many times, but thanks for joining us live here and in person on video. You talked about buyers today who are more than just searching for a home. They're searching for some relief, right? So what shift in energy or approach should salespeople take given the current market situation that we're in?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on the show. I always love joining and just get so much out of this and have learned so much over the years. My name is Brittany Horner. I am the Director of Marketing and Online Sales at Mitchell Homes. We are an on your lot builder across Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Southern Maryland. So for the past 7 years, I've been building both departments from the ground up and just learning so much along the way. But y'all, here's really the play for how you can check your energy and start giving buyers that relief that they're desperately looking for in this unstable, just uncertain world that we're living in now. So let's talk about pre-appointment, right? First impressions win. Your words, your tone, your body language, they're your company's brand. So roll out a red carpet welcome for the buyer, send them a brief video email before the appointment, let them see your face, hear your voice, and feel your energy early. That's how you're going to start building that trust with them. So during the appointment, if you show up warm and grounded, your presence should lower the threat level the moment the buyer meets you. And I say should, so keep that. So they've already seen you virtually through the video email also. So if your OSCs, if you have that program established at your organization, if they set that appointment, start your meeting by reinforcing what they learned pre-handoff. When a buyer feels like your team's aligned, they automatically feel seen and supported. That says so much. And then think about post-appointment. Here are some things you can do. Think about speed and personalization. And the just checking in, just following up, it's not going to land anymore, y'all. So try this. Try saying like, and maybe it's a text. Maybe it's just a simple phone call. Hey, I was thinking about you and I had an idea. That's what buyers want. They want ideas. And it's personal, it's curious, and it keeps the relationship growing, that momentum we're talking about. And then above all, y'all, just focus on how you make people feel. And I think that starts with staying disciplined to look inward and having the appetite to grow your self-awareness every day. Humans, we all can agree here. Like we remember clarity and calm, and the person that made such a complicated process and overwhelming process feel easier. So, really be the salesperson that gives them the relief that they're looking for, and it's uncommon.
Give them that easy button.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never know what to find on my desk. I was also thinking, be like Kevin, be warm and fuzzy and friendly.
I
Don't
think
bite.
that's so good what you said about just checking in or to say I have an idea is so powerful. To say I was thinking about you, that's such a great tip. I mean, that
Yes.
becomes personal and personalization versus something that's just canned and rote repetitive checking in, That's
Yeah.
very good.
Thank you. The automation, I would really stay away from it. People can really see right through that. And I will interview customers at their home site years after moving in. And, the one thing that they say is that text I got late night from the salesperson that I'm working with. I mean, they'll name drop them and they'll light up when they talk about it. So that's really what I wanted to talk about when really checking your energy is, and being very intentional with that. Don't
Yeah.
waste people's time.
That is phenomenal advice.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, absolutely.
Good
Well,
job,
Dan,
Brittany. I liked it too.
it's good stuff. So Dan is next on our list, and he's going to talk about a topic that's near and dear to my heart, SEO and AIO coverage, and how they're converging. It's interesting. I don't know, you roll back to the days of the internet being invented and we all needed to have websites and people hoped websites would go away, right? And then, social media came along and I think a lot of people in our industry kind of hoped social media would go away. And now we've got all of this, AI, and I think that we've kind of got that same mindset too. So Dan, talk to us about what mindset change builders and marketers need so that they, can create the unified content they need that builds trust across both traditional SEO and then the AI-driven discovery that we're starting to see really take over today.
Yeah, and I'm Dan Bridenstine. I'm the digital director at Group 2. So we have a lot of experience here in talking about marketing and AI and SEO for the home building industry specifically. And the biggest thing that we're seeing generally is you don't want to check that box off anymore. Did you have a keyword on your page? Did you say the couple of words that are there? And probably the biggest secret there is most websites aren't actually doing that core piece very well to start with. How many home builders don't actually talk about the fact that they do in fact build homes? You know, maybe they've been doing that for a long time, but if you don't talk about it effectively, and that's the core of it. SEO is really becoming more of the foundation for what to build the rest of your site on, especially with AI optimization or answer engine optimization for content. Do you have the question that someone has? Does it exist on your website? That's step one. And we go to foundational keyword research that it was for a long time. How many of us, let's say 5, 8, even 10 years ago, we're searching for something on Google. You type 3 or 4 words in, and you go back and you typed them in the wrong way in a different order. That first word ended up third or fourth, and you just couldn't find the same search results you did before. That's still the foundation. That's still how a lot of search engines work, even on the ads platforms with Google Ads and such, which is changing soon. Their AI Max campaigns are coming out, but that has shifted now. People want to have quality answers. They want to create understanding, and our job is to generate that trust with them up front. Your website is really needs to be treated as part of your sales team. It is your 24/7 sales team member. If you don't treat it like that, if you don't invest in it like you would training for other people, the actual staff and humans that you work with, it's not going to benefit you. And so are you answering the questions that someone might have and then giving them more quality information beyond that? Are you talking about more benefits of living in a certain school system, up the quality of the vendors that you choose? Those are all types of things that take you a step deeper beyond just having a page that says about us and about our community and about this. It's you really have to go, okay, what's the core? The core is, what are people searching on from a topic perspective, and shifting it to then be, how do I most clearly and concisely answer this question? You don't want to fluff it out too much either. There's a delicate balance between the two. And then, are you tracking that? Do you know what's happening? Do you know that you're getting increased visibility? Do you know that you're being found in the AI overview results on ChatGPT or their search engines behind that? Do you know that you're showing up in different places? Are there other websites linking to you about that same topic that you wrote about or that you're passionate about? Because that's really what's going to drive those pieces forward as you're continuing on. And there's some tests you can run. You can search for who's the best builder in this city or this area or this DMA, and a lot of it's biased based off your search history and how you have your AI pieces set up. But the core comes down to, are you actually answering that question? Not, oh, it's on the website, there's a bullet point, there's a text, that word's there. Are you really answering it? And the step further beyond that is, are you answering a question that someone did not know they had or that they should have had? Because if you're answering questions that they go, oh, I didn't know I should think about that during the build process. I didn't know I should ask my sales representative about this. I didn't know that this is an important part that going into this whole process, especially if someone's not bought a home before in the same way. It's a huge piece. Do you have new home buyer information? Do you have, hey, you bought a home before, here's why you should work with our team on this, and then set your team up for those successes down the road. As an agency, as a full service marketing agency, our job is to connect builders with the most qualified people out there. And sometimes that content on your website needs to be the qualifier, not just the words on there. So are you one, creating visibility so you're seen, not just in traditional searches, but on these AI engines and answer engines? And then, do you have the actual quality of content to back it up? Because someone will look at your answer to a question and look at another website's answer to that same question. And if they think one is better, they're going to start down that path with them until they hit a stumbling block, until something on that other site or at that other company trips them up. And then they'll go, well, let's go back to that second option. But who really wants to go to your second option? That's just never something anybody wants to do. So that's really the core of it. SEO is still the foundation. AIO and AI optimization really builds on top of that from a quality perspective. But I think that the biggest piece is, don't treat them as two distinct disciplines moving forward. They're rolling together far too quickly for us to say, oh, we hope this goes away, like we just mentioned. It's not going away. So if you're expecting it to, it's just not going to. And the core is, are you embracing it and implementing it along with your valuable processes and marketing tactics or content generation? Or are you just saying, oh, I have the word on there, AI likes that, let's move on with our day, everyone? So just I encourage everybody just to keep it integrated, keep it moving forward in that same way.
think we could do about 10 webinars on that subject alone.
Absolutely.
So
Yes,
I know I'm
probably.
having these conversations. I'm not a marketing company, but I'm having these conversations with my builders right now, and they're going, "Oh, what? Wait, Gemini? What? Now I need to."
Mhm.
I'm like,
Right.
you know, all that stuff we've been telling you for 10 years to do on your website, like Carol's been saying, blog, content, blog,
Mhm.
content.
Content.
There's
Yeah.
a reason for that. That sets you
Well,
up. So it's
Yeah.
10 years ago was the best time to start, and the next best time to start's now.
is
So
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and for builders who get started now, they're going to have, probably a 5-year, running start on the ones who you haven't gotten started, because there's a lot of people who are just, again, they're just ignoring it. And the reality is, which, is great for me and Dan and people who like to write, is all these builders are going to be a lot more content on their site than they've ever had before. I mean, I think that's the thing that scares people the most, is a lot of people just don't like to write, don't like to think, don't like to produce this content. And you're going to need a lot of it to stay in the game now.
Yeah, and you need time to then let it be seen, and that's the other part
Correct.
of it. It takes, up to 90 days for things to get indexed and seen and answered properly, and then are you actually doing better than whoever was already in that space? Because it's a lot harder to take a space that's already owned than it is to go find a space. So there's another piece there. Go find a space that no one owns. Well, it could be about your company. Okay, we're all quality builders since 1942 or whatever year it is. Who isn't down the street from you or your competitors? But what do you do that's different from them that you can actually talk about and bring that as leverage in that marketing conversation?
That's a great point. Yeah. So the builders who've been out there and blogging and adding quality content for the last decade have a leg up, because they're already indexed, and they can go make that content deeper, better, stronger without having to start from ground zero. So I don't know. Again, we could talk about this all day long.
Yeah.
all right, Heidi, we're going to pivot to you. And like I said, I don't know how many times a week I say, we have Heidi. So, but you talked about in your blog post about purposeful change in coaching and expectations. And I think now, as playing off of what Erica talked about, our sales teams, we send them out there and they're alone. They're out there in their sales centers and they need our help and our support. So talk more about what that looks like and what it looks like when the numbers aren't the way we want to see it.
Yes. I'm Heidi Schroeder. I'm the senior business consultant for our sales and marketing products here at the ECI. I focus mostly on Lasso, and I work with our existing clients just to coach them on how to better integrate the technology in with their businesses. And one thing I see a lot in my experience with working with executives and management of all sorts, not just sales managers, but sales managers and marketing managers, is a lack of internal intentional coaching. I'll say something at the beginning of engaging with them, like, what do your one-on-ones with your team look like? And often I get a blank stare, right? What one-on-ones? What does that even mean? And so that, having that intentionality just isn't there. I think intentional is our word of the year. I heard it from a lot of people, like Carol said about how marketing applies to sales. Hope is not a strategy, right? Being more intentional about things. So I think if there's one change that I think will really impact particularly a sales team, but also is a marketing team in 2026, it's coaching with the data that we have in front of us and a purpose for that coaching for your team. So instead of giving really broad feedback, hey, we need to get our leads into the CRM, those really broad type things. We need to make more sales. Yeah, duh. We kind of know that, right? We need to make more sales. But having that broad feedback or reacting to whatever happened, particularly last week. Hey, last week sales were down, guys. We really got to step it up with our phone calls. It's a little bit broad. But start looking at that CRM data and look at what's actually happening and what we're actually doing within that data to engage the buyer. So things like how quickly we're responding, where that conversation with the buyer is maybe stalling, which follow-up touch points are getting the most engagement and traction, and use those particular things to pinpoint one skill that each salesperson needs to build themselves up to the next skill, right? Coaching for that one skill and then moving on from there. So we have to have some consistency in that, right? Having a set time, those one-on-ones, having that set time where we say we're going to sit down with this salesperson or this marketing coordinator, and we're going to say, hey, this is the skill that you need to work through. And I can see this in the data. Let's look at it together, and then coaching through that. So not once a quarter and not when there's a problem, but every week or every other week in small, really intentional doses.
Yeah.
So I think that what you get when you do that is a team that knows exactly what's expected of them. And I think that that's, huge. Sometimes we muddle through our jobs, not really knowing what the expectations are. And it creates, that's when we have turnover, right, Erica? When we don't know what's expected. And so it creates this discomfort in our job where we're not feeling that maybe we're doing the best job because we don't really know what's expected of us. So your team will feel more supported if they have that coaching, and you'll see that steady and very measurable progress. So
Yeah,
takes
no,
the guesswork.
one of the things you said, and I totally, this is like, you're hitting my nerve, is like sales rhythm, right? So you have to have really some sales rhythm. And so those one-on-ones or huddle calls or whatever, like you said, that's so important in the coaching and mentoring, or having those times, not where it's just you've done a bad job or a good job. It's like continuous, and consistency was another word that should be in this podcast a lot. The poly market still is high on the intentional word, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that those types of things are what we need to put in place to gain momentum. And for me, of course, Kimberly knows I'm the dashboard queen. I love my dashboard, right? Setting up those touch points so you have that visibility within your CRM for a sales manager, where you can say, hey, check, we're going to go through this together, and we're going to check this, and this. And we can see that momentum moving forward. We can see where we were, 3 months ago as opposed to where we are today. And any Lasso
the
users out there?
trends are key. Yeah.
Well,
Yes, those trends.
The trends.
Yeah.
And I think
that consistency. Oh, go ahead, Carol.
It's good.
That consistency too. I mean, if you're meeting with your team same time every week, I would recommend that, because then they're getting that energy and support as a manager and leader that they're craving, they're looking for. And then the objections can be constantly turned into opportunities, and they're not falling through the cracks because you're not meeting once a month, once every couple months. It's that rhythm that you're speaking on, Ralph.
Yeah.
And it allows us to be more intentional with our customers. It allows us to be more proactive, which of course looks great in our customer experience.
Yeah.
If we're able to be more proactive in our communication. I know that this is not an easy thing for a sales leader or a marketing leader to implement. I understand that life comes a million miles an hour, so this does take some elbow grease on the part of the executive team, just to make this kind of play out properly.
But this is your ROI. This is your return on your investment with your team. And I mean, there's I call them planned encounters. That's where the rubber meets the road, man. So, and being able to use your data, but coach your team.
Yep. Well, and speaking of coaching, we're going to move on now to Leah Fellows with Blue Gypsy. So, Leah, OSCs are really stepping up and becoming more of a connector role. I'm seeing it with our clients. A lot of the OSCs are now coming to the table in the marketing meetings, not just the sales meetings. And I think that's huge. Can you talk a little bit about what habit or behavior most effectively strengthens that bridge between online engagement, on-site experience, technology, and human relationships?
Well, thank you very much. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Leah Fellows. My company is Blue Gypsy Inc. And I'm actually about to celebrate 20 years in the industry, which is kind of freaking crazy,
Wow.
next
Hey.
year. So this coming 2026. So, and almost all of those years have been spent in the online sales world. So I'm an online sales counselor trainer, and I worked in that seat for a long time. And this role has really grown and changed. And like you said, my tip this year is about being that connector, right? And it really is about connecting the dots. And I feel like I'm a little dizzy from nodding yes to every single thing everybody has
I
already
know.
said, because
Mhm.
Yeah.
we've got leadership, we've got marketing, we've got sales, we've got technology. The OSCs sit at the seat in the middle of that, and they need to be able to strategize and to collaborate, right? So if we're going to talk about a habit to create that bridge, it's they're not just rote repetitive tasks that they're repeating and putting on autopilot, right? They've got to really think about the strategy behind everything they do so that they can communicate to the marketing team. They can tell people like Dan and Carol what they're actually experiencing, what on the ground, what people are asking, so that we can put that content out there, that so that we can do that. They're talking to people like Brittany and telling them, okay, this is the kind of attitude I'm getting when somebody calls, right? And they've got to communicate with leadership. We definitely, even just yesterday on a meeting, had leadership sit in on an OSC team training, and we talked about some of the gaps, some of the places where things are falling through the cracks, and more standards and operating procedures we need to create as we ramp up this program and make it stronger, so that the communication and the collaboration happens between on-site and online. And when leadership understands what's going on, right, Erica? When they understand what's going on, they can help patch the holes that are happening, instead of, like Heidi said, yelling, "Oh my God, we need more sales. We didn't get enough sales last week. What do
Uh,
we do?" Right?
uh,
So everything everyone has said leading up to what I said is really creating that bridge and making that OSC that central point of communication. And this is so important as we see this onset of AI. We've got to have that human connection connecting all the dots. AI is a great tool, but it's not a replacement. And we've got to be able to understand how we bring that all together, how OSC stay curious and create that bridge and fill that gap between all the different departments. So I mean that's I hope I answered the question. I feel like it's something I've been saying for a very long time. Kind of like we've been saying content is king forever, and we got to blog, 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 right? It's just bringing it, it's really coalescing this year, I feel like,
Mhm.
and coming together.
It does have to all come together. So, which is now we get to pivot to Jake, who's first time also on the program. So, Jake from Audience Town, thank you for joining us. And in sales, and when we're tasked with making those conversions, it's super important that we have the right people in front of us, and so that we're getting people who are ready, willing, and able, or ready, willing, and working on able at a very minimum, right? So talk to us about how that emphasis on really connecting with those people and uncluttering all this noise that's out there happens. How do we do that?
Yeah, so hey there, everyone. I am new to this group this year and this year-end event, but I am not new to the industry. Again, thank you for the intro, but my name is Jake Scherrer, currently head of sales with Audience Town, and I've been in the industry for about 16 years, where I spent most of it with Zillow. So that's probably where most of you recognize me from. It's still weird sometimes to hear my name with another company, but in case any of you are not familiar with Audience Town, sales and marketing and analytics platform, and we help make sure that the audience builders are trying to attract is the actual audience those builders are attracting to their communities. And we do this by, building a detailed picture of everyone who visited a builder's website. Whether they fill out a form or not, we know who's sniffing around. So I love data, super happy to be a part of a great company and excited to be a part of this group today. But great question. And first off, I think I don't know. I think most builders, when I talk to them, I mean, you'd be surprised how many home builders we talk to on a regular basis don't know or have any clue who their ideal consumer profile actually is. And to me, that is so important to like just core marketing efforts. So in my opinion, it's not even about which data insights are underused. It's beginning at an even higher level than that. So getting builders to subscribe to the idea that data insights in general should and can be used. Start with the basics, grow from there because marketing on intuition or gut alone or hope, that's super risky. But Audience Town, we have the ability to report on not only the attributes you'd expect, right? So like household income, current home value, credit score, but we can actually dive into home and family composition of a builder's audience. So we can narrow in on like number of children, number of vehicles. This is an interesting one, and Carol, it's timely, but every person that comes to the site, like, how many pets do they own or even what pets? So as silly as it can seem, every piece of information on a household is a clue, and every clue helps marketing kind of, I say, fine tune a strategy, make informed channel decisions, launch better ad campaigns, and ultimately close more deals. So everyone, I like to say, leaves behind digital breadcrumbs, and these breadcrumbs can help tell a story. But back to the original question, which data insights are underused? One that is underused, in my opinion, is who recently purchased homes in an area. So every market's a little different, and these national trends about who's buying can only get you so far. So look at who recently purchased in your area, their demographics, financial health profile, their behaviors. All of this helps marketing build this ICP that's built on real-time data, not just what we say outdated opinions. And don't just look at recent buyers of new construction. We know that a vast majority of buyers consider new construction, but less than 1 in 5 buy. So that means you are actually competing against used home inventory, no matter what anyone tells you.
Everywhere. Yep.
Yeah. So when you know who's actually buying, optimize your funnel from top to bottom. You can realign brand creative with lifestyle and improve marketing to kind of hit those features that they're actually interested in. So again, I'm just going to end with this. Just prioritize leads in your sales funnel who fit that profile that are more likely to transact. The information is out there. You just have to know how to interpret it.
Yeah.
It's still a little scary to me that how much of our digital footprint we leave out there, but we are
Kimberly,
leaving it.
you shouldn't be scared.
Yeah.
We are leaving it. It's a reality.
It's there.
But
It's
you
there.
hear it and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's super creepy. And I try not to lead with like, I work for a super creepy company, Audience Time. I mean, we subscribe to like hundreds of data sources that collect everything. I mean, I'm lazy now. I don't care if I'm accepting cookies or not anymore. I used to be super conscious of it. Now I'm just like, whatever, sure.
Yeah.
It's there anyway.
It's fun to see who remarkets to you or what you get because of those cookies, or the conversation you just had that Alexa overheard. And now all of a sudden you're getting an ad for something that you've spoken about once. It's crazy. So
yeah, we know. I mean, it's crazy. We know you can find out what their special interests are. I mean, just it's crazy things out there that we know.
My social feeds will be filled with donkeys after today.
Right, absolutely. Well,
all going to be donkey fans.
Yeah, it's going to be like do you have a cat, dog, donkey, and
donkey, cat, dog, donkey. Well, you all let me know if you start getting donkey ads, but
we will.
All right. Well, Ralph, you're up next. So, and I guess this is something that's near and dear to everyone's heart right now. The market is definitely a little slow right now. So what single action has the greatest impact in helping a salesperson to generate momentum? And, during the slow time, which, I don't know, one of my favorite forecasters keeps telling me that that we're slogging through 2025. And she says we're going to continue to slog through 2026. So that probably being true, as much as I hate to say that, what do you advise?
Okay, so I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. But my name is Ralph Williams. With Sales Solve Everything, we actually are a sales training company and sales academy company for new home sales only across the country. And we are now celebrating this next month our 14th year in the business. So it's pretty exciting. And I've known most of these people online for a long time, and you guys, and it's kind of it's nice to be here again and see everybody's face. And I do look forward to this every single year. But let's get to the question. So So you said, what can we do? The one action. I've been in the business since I had hair, which I was 19, and now I don't have hair. And so I've been through a couple of these. And what I would say that I keep
I'm
telling
joining you.
myself, yeah, what I keep telling myself in these time periods is be good with controlling what we can. So that would be my first message to any salesperson. And that we can't control the market necessarily, but what we can control is our mindset, our actions, and our consistency. And then what Brittany said, I want to add on to it because I think it's just as important, is our energy. So as a salesperson, it's funny, I go into sales offices a lot, and sometimes I get like, hey, God, I'm so glad to see you. I haven't seen anybody in like 3 days. Well, that really makes me feel as a buyer, let's say I was a buyer, like, why would I like, uh-oh, what's wrong,
Yeah.
right? And so I think we have to think about those things. And then I always think that what I have to keep telling myself as a sales leader, as a sales professional, is our results will always, they're always a lag effect from our effort. And so I think sometimes, too many times, as a salesperson, we want to hunt and we want to kill, but we don't farm and we don't plant seeds and we don't work those consistently. And so knowing that like we're 3 feet from goal, but we never get to the goal because we stop too soon. So that's the mindset I want you to have, is like, hey, our efforts, they're a lag effect from what we do. So that's the other thing. And then like Warren Buffett always has this saying where he talks about, only when the tide goes out do you really discover who's been swimming naked. And
I love that.
and I think, we're in this challenging market where, a lot of people are exposed right now. We had a good market and we didn't need the good processes and the CRMs like Lasso, and no follow-up systems, no pipeline, no relationships, no discipline. And now we're in a market that requires those. So I see the people like there's a separation right now to me with average salespeople who are waiting for things to happen, waiting for the market to change, and then pros that are proactive and treating this as maybe their secret training ground where they're getting better at what they're improving their knowledge, they're understanding their financials better, how they can explain loan programs, or getting more details on how they become an expert. So they take this time right now, that's the slower time period, which is just true, and they create their own momentum. So they're looking for ways to improve and then get better at what they do. Because look, we've all been around through a couple markets, at least some of you have. And the ones that do that now, Kimberly, are the ones that actually ride the wave. Like, don't you agree? Like, they're the ones that come out of this and they
See
just
that little go
crush
up.
it.
So I'm doing my little heart emoji with my hand. Like,
It's
yes.
just, they crush it, right?
You
And
two have been
so,
drinking from the same fountain.
yeah.
He's singing my song. I'm like,
I know.
oh, yes, preach, Ralph.
Well, it's just, it's just in you. We've been in it long enough and we've seen it. And so this is one of those time periods, I think Rhonda said it at some meeting. Rhonda Conger, think this, so I want to give her credit for when I was like, oh, I know it's simple, but it's brilliant. When she says, hey, and I get this from salespeople, we're doing the same thing that we did last year, but we're not getting the same results. We're getting about half the results. And to me, that's pretty simple, right? Okay, well, double your output, double your outreach, work harder and work longer. If you have to do double the work to get back to one, that's what you have to do in this market. We should be developing our realtor relationships. We should be getting deeper into those relationships where when things turn around, the strong survive and the strong survive, and they go crazy when the market turns. And it will turn, right? It's been a long time. Quite honestly, I feel like this has been one of the longer ones. So it's testing our mental resolve. That's why you have to have a strong mental mindset, good energy.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, you're definitely singing my song, and I wish we had time to explore more of that, because I could talk about this stuff all day long. But you set Carol up beautifully to talk. So Carol, you wrote about using influencers and realtors, and really like that whole thing. They can be they can really give you legs on your social approach. So go for it. Take us there and tell these salespeople what they need to do.
Okay. Well, Carol Morgan with Denim Marketing. And one of the things we're really focusing on for clients as we go into 2026 is taking those realtors out there in your local area who are already shooting video and already promoting your new homes. I mean, I'm talking co-op agents, folks. There's a lot of them out there. Same for designers and other people that are kind of, ancillary to what we're doing and, specifically in the home building industry, but very important to us. And a lot of them have really good followings. So coming up with ways to invite them in, maybe you host a special, wine and cheese night and invite 4 or 5 realtors who are influencers into your model home to have a sneak peek, give them time to film their own video. You're doing 2 things there, actually. One, those realtors are probably people who are already bringing you sales, right? So it's kind of a thank you for them, but then you're also setting them up as, influencers to go out there and get even more traffic, more eyes on site. And it's just the simplest way to think about, each one reaches. It used to be that the average Facebook person had like 140 friends. I don't know what it is today, but you just think of the ability to magnify your messages and working with these influencers who often don't expect anything other than, coming into your model during a private time. Maybe you can offer them some sort of incentive on their next sale in that community, or an incentive on every sale in that community. But there's lots of things you can do. And it's just a way that I think it takes a little bit of effort, but it's going to be a quick way to grow market share and to help reach people that you wouldn't necessarily reach in other ways. So that's what we're looking at.
I think that's huge, Carol. Just so you know, I have a high-end production home building company as well. And so what we also are doing is what you just talked about. We actually, if you look on our home building company's website, it launched today as a contest to see who can get the views and shares and all the entries, and that's one way. And then we have we've identified 20 influencers that have 100,000+ viewers in our marketplace. And so we're actually going to pay $350 to our videographer, where they can come in and get a great quality video content that they will share and all that stuff. So we were like $350 per person that can reach 100,000 people.
That's awesome.
Come on, that's as good as it gets, right?
Yeah. And I think
just imagine if you had, during the holiday season, all of your home buyers do a contest where they shared all of their decorations, and they tried to go viral on the internet with the pictures, the videos of their own homes in your community. I mean, just think how you could utilize that and ride that wave, something like that.
Yeah, so many good ideas. Well, I want to make sure Kimberly has time to go before we wrap up. So, again, looking at 2026, what behavior shift most effectively will restore confidence, build momentum, and help sales advisors move all these buyers who are sitting on the fence forward? What do we have to do, Kimberly?
Well, I'm going to chime into the energy that Brittany and Heidi and Ralph and Erica are laying down out there. So I wrote my post basically as a letter to salespeople and to sales leaders, because what I'm seeing out there is, it's kind of like a tale of 2 markets. You've got whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And I'm seeing that with the sales leaders and the salespeople. I've got salespeople in the same community, some selling 3 and 4 a week. Yes, in this market with all the competition. And guess what? No incentives, because they're selling 3 or 4 weeks. So we don't need incentives in that community, because the salesperson is making it happen and making people believe they can do it, and working hard with her lenders to find the program that's right. Because buyers don't believe either. They come in, they have aspirations. Your job right now is to get unstuck, help your buyers get unstuck, and show them this pathway forward. And, many of our salespeople have been in this industry since 2019. They've only been in that long. Think of everything that's happened since 2019. I mean, helter skelter. Like, we've been up, we've been down, we've been sideways, we've had pandemics, we've had, the list goes on. Like, it's just not normal, right? Yeah. And so these people have never experienced a time where we had to make those connections, get personal with people. So sales leaders, that's our job. I know you have administrivia and you hear me talk about administrivia like a broken record, right? I am the queen of KPIs. Heidi will tell you, I want my dashboard
Yep.
perfect, and more data is better. But the question is, how do you identify those trends? What does it mean? And if you've got a salesperson struggling on your planned encounter, or they're trying something new, like, slow down. Stop making it about, oh, well, you got this many sales, you contacted this many just the number. It's what goes behind those numbers. Look at those trends and how can we support that salesperson through so that we can get them to make that breakthrough. I mean, with my teams that we're working with right now, we're ranking them based on where they are. Are they hitting their goals? Are they hitting their numbers? What level of support do they need? Not so we're going, okay, they're A's, B's, and C's, and the C's are on their way out. How do we take the C's and make them B's? What do they need? So we can get real strategic based on that. Because I've got some new C's. I've got people working 2 jobs to try to break into this industry. That's a whole different level of dedication. This is a fantastic opportunity for people, and it's life changing. And if you're willing to work 2 jobs, first of all, you shouldn't have to work 2 jobs to break into this industry. That's a whole other conversation we could have. But you've got people who really want to make it work. Let's help them. Let's support them. Let's raise them up and get them where they need to be. And the only way you do that is by getting out and staying out. So your spreadsheets, they're not giving you all this information. Your people being out in the field, that is where it has to happen. So get out there, and next best thing, if you can't get there, at least get there by Zoom. So, but try to get out there because you're going to see so much that happens in the field. So unstick yourself. That's don't get stuck.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. That's great.
Whew.
Oh,
Anybody else? That was some gold. So I think our audience is stunned because I haven't seen a comment come across in about 10 minutes. Thank you, Anya, by the way, for the words of support that she was throwing down out there. Anybody in the last minute here want to share one last parting thought? And that can come from our audience too. You guys type in the chat and tell us what you think.
My parting thought
Let's start with Heidi, because I'm gonna go left to right on my screen here. Heidi, last thought.
Plan your plan. Make your plan and play the long game. I love what Ralph said. Play the long game.
Yes. Erica?
Wait. Am I on mute?
No, we can hear
you. Gosh, I mean, everything that all of you talked about, it has to do with people, right? So, you can't mentor people or busy pretending to be fine. I said that before. Yeah, just to your point, Kimberly, get out there. The worst thing a leader could say is, I didn't know they had kids. I mean, it happens. Yeah. So get out there.
Yeah, get to know your people for sure. Ralph?
I would just say keep in your mind, like, I'm a creature of habit. Make sure that you know that your efforts, your results will always be laggards to your efforts. So your efforts right now, maybe they don't pay off tomorrow, but they'll pay off in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So don't stop that. And I think people think they don't have the ability, like, that they can't make a difference, and top performers make a difference.
Yes, they do. Dan?
I would say, just from the marketing side, to pair that in too, is what information can you share with your marketing team that's happening on the sales front as that part? Like, what questions are people asking? What is the focus? What home types are people looking for? What are the things that are important? Because when you're crafting anything around that, you have to make sure it matches up with what their expectations are.
Love it. Leah?
My wrap up and thought is that this episode should always be an hour and a half instead of an hour.
Okay.
But also just create connection between your departments internally. We are always saying connect with your buyers, but connect internally, really connect the dots, really create some cohesiveness so we're all rowing in the same direction and not at opposing forces. So
yes. Yeah, 100%. Jake?
I'll steal something from our company, which is just win with what works. Don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to. Don't make change for the sake of making change. A lot of things work, and continue to iterate and improve, and good things will happen.
Wow. Yeah. Brittany.
I think everyone is their own creator of a good day. That good day is never going to fall into your lap. It's not just going to magically happen. Look yourself in the mirror every day and give yourself those affirmations, positive ones, and just be intentional with that. And, your every day that you wake up is a blessing. Don't take advantage of that. Give your people that you're in front of just that energy that we're talking about.
Love it. And our chat, Tracy says that she appreciates Ralph's comments that salespeople need to help themselves as well and not point fingers. Grassroots efforts work. Yes, ma'am, they sure do. Carol?
Well, Jake and Brittany teed me up for this one. 2025 has been quite a year of change, and change happens. There's not a lot we can do about it, whether it's our personal lives or it's our business or whatever it is, but be willing to embrace change and look for what's new, what's different, what's good, where you can go with that change. And then just, everybody just needs to keep in mind tomorrow is not promised. So find a way to be happy.
Love that.
Connect with yourself, mentor yourself if you need to. Find a mentor. But tomorrow's not promised. So that's my.
Well said.
So I'm going to end this by saying, I have an attitude of gratitude, and I'm so grateful for all of you and to know you all personally and be able to personally experience your brilliance and the energy and enthusiasm you bring to this industry. I so appreciate. And I appreciate all of you taking your time out today and joining us. So happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2026. We're all here for you, and we'll get the video out. If you missed anything because we went so fast, we'll get it out to you. All right, everybody. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks.
I
See
mean,
ya.
Love you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. We can keep the conversation going. Just search Sales and Marketing Power Hour on Facebook. See you next time.